Hello, friends. Today we're going to talk about secondhand trauma and some current events. Let's get into it. Hi, friends. This is Bethany Jennings, and you're listening to We Should Talk. It's a podcast where we talk about anything and everything to encourage, equip, and empower you to be a decent human. Let's talk. Okay, I am sitting on my couch. It is late. I don't know how late it is, but it's late. I'm waiting on my youngest to actually decide to go to sleep. He's kind of struggle bussing. I'm recording this on the 10th of September. I could have released something else earlier today, but due to current events, I want to discuss something that I may have mentioned it before, but I'm pretty sure I don't have a whole episode on, and I won't go into full in-depth about it. But there's been a lot of violence lately in the media. There's always violence in the media, but it just seems like these past few weeks, it's just been over the top violence and gruesome graphic scenes spread across social media. Specifically the brutal murder that occurred on a train. I don't know the details. I don't want to watch the video. And the assassination of Charlie Kirk that occurred today. Very brutal scenes. I did not know Charlie Kirk at all. I know as much as anyone could know from seeing his videos and stuff on social media. But I am grieved. I am grieved for his wife and his babies. I am grieved for those who had to witness that happen live. I have some thoughts on it, and we'll get in. I'll talk about it a little bit. This podcast is not political. That's not what this podcast is for at all. But there are some things that we should talk about, and that is what this podcast is about. We should talk. We should talk about what happens when evil cannot control you. When evil cannot control you, it will try to silence you. And that is what we have witnessed today. Number one. Number two, do not withhold for tomorrow what needs to be done today. With that, I mean, say I love you often, all the time, over the top. Show appreciation. Show gratitude for people. Tell your spouse you love them. Tell your kids you love them. Because you never know. You never know. That man was 31 years old. That's younger than my husband. That's crazy. That's crazy. So do not withhold those things. Also, do not withhold the gospel from people, because you don't know when their last breath will be. I don't know everything about Charlie Kirk. I know that he was a man of faith. I know that he professed his Christianity and his beliefs without reserve. He professed his faith boldly, and that should be an inspiration to all Christians. That should be an inspiration to all Christians, because there are some of us who would not be mistaken for a Christian. Some of us are not putting out good fruit. Some of us are not even carrying out the commission. We're not spreading the gospel. Every person you meet needs the gospel. I am grieved. And I am compelled to do more. Those are my thoughts on that matter. And I told my brother today, Nathaniel, and there were some others around, I said, it's to the point, I don't want to do anything but pray. I just want to shut myself away in the prayer closet and never come out. But that's not realistic, you know? How can I spread the gospel if I'm not around people who need the gospel? This world is broken. This world is hurting. And there are evil forces who want to silence the voice of truth and the voices of moral guidance. And this is not just political. This is not just, social. This is spiritual. This is spiritual. There is an all-out war on our families. And we've got to step up. We've got to do more. I just want to go hide and pray. And He is our hiding place. And yes, we should be praying. But it's not that prayer is all I can do. It's prayer is what we should do. Because this is not just flesh and blood. This is wickedness. And we're seeing it every day on the news. For all that we do see on the news, there's that much more that we're not seeing. There's that much more that is happening that we know nothing about. You got to stay ready, and you got to tell everybody you can to get ready. Do not withhold the gospel from people. Do not withhold the good news from people. Do not be stingy with God's love. Tell everybody, and pray. That's my takeaway about the current events. Now, on to what I said we were going to talk about. Secondhand trauma. Secondhand trauma is when you were not at the actual, or were not a part of the actual traumatizing event, but you witnessed it secondhand. So, unfortunately, though social media is great for spreading the word about things, it is not so great about censoring the graphic content that can come up. You can be scrolling through Instagram and go from, homesteading reels to the gruesome murder of a human caught on a security camera, or the gruesome assassination of a Christian political activist, right? Or, there was even one time I was sitting in a restaurant waiting on food, and I don't know, it was just a lot going on. And I happened upon a video. It was like an African page about their culture and things. But the video came up without one. There was no warning at all. And someone was being murdered. Again, social media is not great at censoring graphic content. It just isn't. So what is happening is, even though you are not present at the event, or you are not, there or participating in or a part of the event, you see it on the news, you see it on social media, you see it repeated, it's talked about constantly, it's rehashed, and the videos are played over and over again. And what happens is you end up with more trauma responses to that than the people actually involved in it. They have done studies on this. There are people who have been a part of wars that were not as traumatized as those in a completely different country, different setting, who were constantly exposed to images of these wars. they were more, the people who were not even part of it were more traumatized, because your brain is having repeated trauma. Your brain registers the constant exposure as repeated trauma. And that is going to damage your brain. It's going to damage your emotional capacity to deal with things. And you will start to have trauma responses. Now, I'm not encouraging you to fabricate some kind of trauma response to what's going on in the world right now. I'm not encouraging that. But I am saying, guard your eyes, guard your ears. You do not have to sit and listen to things over and over again. You do not have to watch things on social media over and over again. You do not have to see things on news sites over and over again. You do not have to do that. You are not obligated to watch gruesome murders. You are not obligated to witness heinous crimes repeatedly on the news. It is causing traumatic injuries to the brain. It all in the name of getting the highest ratings, or getting the most views, or getting the most watches on your reel, or the most interactions on your social media. You don't have to do that. Turn it off. Turn off your phone. Turn off the news. Turn it off. Guard yourself. We were not meant to see these things, especially at the rate and repetition that we are seeing them. Our brains were not made for that. Our souls were not made for that. There's a reason we are grieved by these things. It's because our souls are not made to witness such wickedness. So, I encourage you, step away from the phone. Find a prayer closet. Step away from news. You don't have to post about it, but you do have to pray about it. Okay? Do not be a victim of secondhand trauma, because that's what people are posting. All right? You take control of what you're exposed to, and guard yourself. We learned it in Sunday school. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. That doesn't just mean you seek out things to look at, but you also have to be careful what is thrown on you and you are involuntarily exposed to. I'm going to go, but please, please, please be vigilant in prayer. Find someone to share the gospel with, and guard your eyes. I love you. Well, that was fun. I'm glad you stuck around for the whole thing. And thank you for talking to me today. Y'all go like and follow and review and do all the podcast things that people do. And don't forget to be a good human.